AIDA, the magic formula to creating compelling copy that sells. AIDA is an extremely powerful formula that, if followed, will ensure your content is always primed to sell. It works in 4 stages: to attract your customers' attention, interest them, and then make them desire what you're selling. The final stage is to make them take action, which usually means getting them to make a purchase or subscribe. You can use the AIDA formula in most of your promotional copy, whether you're creating press releases, landing pages, email campaigns, or product ads. Let's look at the 4 stages in a little more detail. First, attract. Attracting customers is the first and most critical step. There are many ways to attract customers using your content, but one important way is through your headers. With headlines, you need to grab people's attention from the off, so they click through or keep reading on. Subheaders are also crucial to help break up blocks of text and add structure, so use them in your content, but be sure to make them exciting and relevant. A good header is provocative and presses people's buttons. It can make them excited, intrigued, or even angry. But one thing it should never do is be boring. So don't play it safe with your headers. Stand out by asking leading questions or promise value by offering to give people knowledge they never had before. You should aim to charge your headers with emotional words like amazing, exceptional, terrible, horrible, but don't use too many and don't go overboard. The terrible truth about most skincare products is a powerful emotive and intriguing header, as is your diet endangering your health? 10 ways to stop losing money on your Facebook ad spend is even better, as not only does everyone want to save money, you're giving people an incentive to click through and read your content by promising to give them a practical solution. Headers can be short or a little longer, but try to keep them as brief as possible while still being specific. Getting specific is critical. No one is going to click through if they're not sure what they're going to be reading. Time is precious, so you have to make people want to spend theirs reading your content by showing them what's in it for them. One way of making your headers more specific is by including numbers in them. 10 crucial diet mistakes that age you faster is super specific, as it tells people that if they click through, they'll be able to find out what these potential 10 errors are. An industry survey conducted by Moz.com found that number headlines got 327% more click-throughs than question headlines. You won't be able to use them every time in every header you write, but you can supercharge your content by including them wherever possible. Use FOMO in your headers to attract more click-throughs. FOMO, or fear of missing out, is another great principle to use when writing your headlines. It works by tapping into a worry or common concern people have, making them want to find out more so they can either prevent or solve the problem. A headline like 5 Ways You Can Guarantee Your Cat Lives Longer uses the FOMO principle. So does the number 1 cholesterol slashing ingredient. Are you getting enough? Interest. Once you've got people's attention, you need to move on to the second stage of AIDA and keep their interest. This part of your copy is often called the lead, and it is hugely important. Aim to keep your lead to a max of about 8 sentences for optimum effect. One way of ensuring you keep people reading is by using intrigue. You can do this by teasing that you have the solution to their problem or fear without telling them exactly what it is. Or you can create interest by sharing a short story about someone who used your product or service and got great results. Don't jump in straight away and hit them with the details of your product. If you're selling a diet supplement, for example, first intrigue them by saying something like, excess weight can be hard to shift, ingredient that can jumpstart your metabolism. I'm going to tell you why you can shift that spare tire without spending an excessive amount of time at the gym or depriving yourself. By including one easy to take supplement in your daily routine, you could start shedding pounds within weeks. This should intrigue them enough to carry on reading as you're hitting their hot balloons. They want to lose weight. They don't want to have to work out for hours or starve themselves. So you have them exactly where you want them, hooked to find out what this magic ingredient is. If you can then angle your copy to frame your product or service as the solution to their fear, or the thing that will deliver them what they most desire, you'll be able to benefit from the panic or intrigue you induced with your FOMO headline. Imagine someone who's concerned about delaying the aging process clicking through on a headline like, "Are you making your face age too quick?" And then reading about how there is a skincare product that can help them achieve what they want, younger looking skin. They're going to be in a prime state to want to know exactly what the product is, which is how you want them for the next phase of the AIDA formula. Desire. After you have attracted people with a great header and interested them enough so they want to keep reading, you have to make them desire what you're selling. To get people to want what you're offering, you can't simply talk about how great your product is. You need to show potential customers what's in it for them. The what's in it for them principle is another staple of copywriting, as customers are focused on themselves and want what they want. To demonstrate what's in it for your customers, always outline the benefits of your product or service in any copy you create. Show people how what you are offering will directly improve their lives or give them the results they're seeking. Never just outline your product or service features. No one really cares whether or not your product was created by the finest master craftsman on the planet, but they do care if you can explain why this makes it 100 times more effective than any other product out there, as this gives them a reason to purchase. Once you have attracted customers with an engaging header, interested them by teasing that you have the solution to their problem, and made them desire by introducing your product and outlining the benefits, you still need to motivate them to take action. Action. This is the last stage of the AIDA formula and will obviously be vital to the success of your brand. If you don't make sales, you can't stay in business, right? So you need to motivate readers of your content to buy or sign up. Most people are lazy and they have too much choice. They need an incentive in order to take action. This incentive could be a great deal, a limited time offer, or a product or service that gives them benefits or results they just can't get anywhere else. Let's say I want to sell an anti-aging face cream. I first attract people to read my content by creating an enticing headline. I then interest people by explaining that I have the solution to their fears about aging. Then I make them desire my product by outlining the great benefits they will be experiencing using it, having done my marketing research beforehand, so I know what benefits they actually want. Now, I need to do the last part of the AIDA formula, which is to get them to take action. One example of how I might do this is to say, in my call to action, get 3 bottles for the price of 1 when you click through to purchase in the next 60 minutes. Stocks are limited, and these are going fast, so reserve yours now. Or I might say, grab your first-time customer 50% discount and get your first bottle for just $9.99. Hurry and purchase right now, as this offer only applies for the next 24 hours. Both of these call to actions have a sense of urgency and spur people to take action when you want them to, which is immediately. Always tell people the specific action you would like them to take and remind them why. Don't just say, sign up now. Say, enter your email address and start receiving your tips and tricks straight away. Instead, this is the AIDA formula I mentioned earlier: attract, interest, desire, action. Ideally, you should also use FOMO, the fear of missing out, to super boost both your headline and your call to action. You should also use the what's in it for them principle in your header and wherever possible to make customers desire your product by highlighting how it will benefit them.